For a time, it was the crown jewel of American capitalism, a company so admired, so innovative, that every top graduate dreamed of working there. But it was all a mirage. Okay, let's dive into this, the story of how one of the biggest companies in the world simply vanished.
I mean, that sentence right there, it captures the entire story of Enron perfectly. This wasn't just a corporate collapse. It was a carefully constructed catastrophe. Behind the billion-dollar headlines and those gleaming skyscrapers was a web of lies, spun by some of the most brilliant minds in business. They didn't just break the rules, they rewrote them, until the truth finally caught up. So where did it all begin? How did a seemingly simple energy company become this symbol of corporate fraud? Well, it all started with a revolutionary idea, one that really did promise to change everything. Let's go back to 1985. Two companies, Houston Natural Gas and Internorth, they merge and create this new powerhouse, Enron. At the helm was a guy named Kenneth Lay, super charismatic, incredibly ambitious. His vision wasn't just to sell power, it was to create a marketplace for it, to trade energy just like stocks. It sounded like the future.
And for a while, it really seemed like it was. Under a new CEO, Jeff Skilling, a brilliant and really aggressive executive, Enron just skyrocketed. In the 1990s, they weren't just a company, they were the company.
Enron's transformation was just breathtaking. They moved way beyond just energy to become this vast trading empire. They traded electricity, natural gas. They even traded abstract things like weather futures. Their philosophy was simple. If it exists, it can be bought and sold. Anything, absolutely anything, could be turned into profit.
And the results were staggering. At its absolute peak, Enron was valued at over $70 billion. Its stock price just exploded, and on paper, its employees were becoming millionaires. It was the kind of wealth that felt permanent.
And in a way, they earned it. The culture was intense. We're talking 100-hour work weeks. The people inside lived fast, they talked smart, and they truly believed they were on the front lines, literally changing the world. And the world believed it too. For 6 straight years, analysts and journalists, everyone, called Enron America's most innovative company. The illusion was perfect. But that's exactly what it was, an illusion. Because behind the soaring numbers and all the prestigious awards, Enron wasn't actually creating real, tangible value. They were creating a story, a very convincing, but ultimately a hollow one. So how did they do it? How did they fool the entire world for so long? This is where the story turns from ambition to outright deception. This is how the smoke machine was built. The whole deception started with this clever accounting trick called mark-to-market. It basically allowed Enron to claim these massive profits from long-term deals the very day they were signed, even if the actual money wouldn't arrive for years, if it ever did. It made the company look unbelievably profitable. But the profits, they were just projections. In reality, they were imaginary. And to compound the deception, the chief financial officer, Andy Fastow, created this complex maze of offshore shell companies. And their only purpose? To hide Enron's enormous and growing debts, keeping them completely off the official books. The executives got rich, and Wall Street applauded them every single quarter. But an empire built on smoke cannot last. And in 2001, the cracks began to show, and that perfect illusion, it started to unravel with terrifying speed. It all started with a single question. A young journalist from Fortune magazine published an article in October 2001 with this exact headline. It was the spark that lit the fuse. All of a sudden, people started asking, wait a minute, how exactly does Enron make its money? The speed of the collapse was just breathtaking. Within weeks of that article, the truth tumbled out. Billions in hidden debt, years of fake profits. By December, just 2 months after that one question was asked, Enron filed for bankruptcy. The empire was gone. But this was never just a financial story. The human cost, it was devastating. Thousands of employees lost their jobs overnight. Their life savings, all tied up in now worthless Enron stock, just vanished. Pensions, retirements, all of it destroyed. And the architects of this whole disaster, the key figures, Kenneth Lay, Jeff Skilling, Andy Fastow, the so-called smartest guys in the room, Well, they became symbols of corporate greed. All were charged, all were disgraced. So, when the smoke finally cleared, what was left? Beyond the bankruptcy and the prison sentences, the fall of Enron left a lasting mark on the world. At its heart, the Enron scandal was a moral one. It's a story about what happens when ambition isn't tied to integrity and when brilliance has no ethical boundaries. Their intelligence wasn't used to create, it was used to deceive. And the fallout changed everything. It led to new laws like the Sarbanes-Oxley Act, designed to prevent this from ever happening again. But more than that, it created a deep and lasting skepticism. It really shattered America's faith in corporate honesty. And if there is one lesson to take away from this entire saga, it is this. Success that is built on a foundation of lies isn't really success. It's just a time bomb waiting to go off. Enron's story serves as a timeless and powerful warning to every company, every leader, and every dreamer. It proves without a doubt that no lie is too small to grow, and no empire is too big to fail. They built an empire of smoke, and they called it innovation. And in the end, when the fire of truth finally burned through all the deception, all that remained was ash.